Call to order the March 30th, 2026 Historic Preservation Commission meeting. First on our agenda is approval of minutes from the January 26th meeting. Any comments, corrections, or do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Great, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next on the agenda is the Public Relations and Education Committee. Did they meet? Okay, and did the District Committee meet?
We did not.
All right. The COA Committee did meet. Michael, do you want to introduce it?
Yes, we
like me
have
to? It's up to you.
new Habitat home construction at 1327 Columbia Street, which is in a local historic district. They've been issued a permit and have started foundation work at the site. And then we're reminded or told that they needed to go through HPC, which was not something that had been communicated to them before they were given the permit. So here we are looking to approve new house plans.
Great, great. Well, the COA Committee did meet. Dan, we got your notes of the meeting. Do you want to make some comments?
Yeah, sorry I wasn't there. Mike said I have to speak in over here. Yeah, I guess, and driving by and looking at the surrounding houses, yeah, the trim issues and the smooth siding and those kind of things. The only additional thing I would have is the roof pitch. The drawings call for 612. Most of the houses around there, especially the Queen Anne's and that, would have a 8, 10, 12, 12 pitch, much steeper. I think it'd be better, and I think on here it calls for shakes in the gable. Fish scales would be more appropriate because several other houses have the fish scales. So I guess those are the two additional items over to what I texted Miles during the meeting. So.
Mr. Amato, do you want to say anything about the project? I mean,
Well,
the COA Committee did give its
right,
approval, so,
appreciate that.
yes.
As far as the roof pitch goes, when we initiated these prints and put them in, we did submit for 612. And they have already been built. So they are actually due to be delivered this Friday as a 612 pitch. So, I can look into seeing whether or not I can utilize them on another project that's similar. And we can just store them in a facility until further notice. Just a heads up on that. As far as everything else, I think we talked and discussed some issues with the front elevation, having a little bit of brick facade on the porch. And again, the smooth siding, we did add some additional windows. That was suggested as well.
Michael, can you pull up the elevation while he's talking on the screens?
Quickly? No.
Could have, never mind.
Assume everybody's already seen these. Just thought it might be helpful.
While he's doing that, just for the record, I'm going to be recusing myself from voting for obvious reasons.
We appreciate your
not.
integrity.
Thanks.
Oh, he's my husband.
Okay.
Yeah. Not so
It's
obvious.
coming up.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah.
So that's it there. I have, and I don't know if you saw this, Dan, but I did just kind of a quick sketch kind of thing.
Right, I mean, that's similar to what.
Yeah, right. And then something we talked about at the Friday meeting was three-quarter door.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just kind of feel like that's apropos. Now, whether or not, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the colonial muttons and mullions in it. It may just be fixed glass with blinds in it, just because of
That's fine.
ease of application.
Yeah, that's better.
And cost, there's always the cost factor, so we've got to try to keep this.
Is going to fish scales a problem versus the,
No, I have that also, but I haven't painted it yet, so I might be able to return it.
okay.
And then we'll just change it to a fish scale rather than standard shake. So, I think we could do that. My biggest thing really was the concern for, the pitch, as you mentioned, and I'll see what I can do with that, I don't know. My other intention too, so that you know, is I'm gonna use larger freeze board trim as a, more of a accent, okay, to illustrate more of that traditional, old school,
Okay.
okay? That kind of thing. And again, we're just picking up the 1x6 trim everywhere, moving forward with that. And then the entryway will be off the side here rather than the front, because the repose of the grade is so extreme. Very bad winter situation. So I'd rather try to manipulate that to be a little more user-friendly. So,
And it's a corner lot, so that.
yeah, yeah,
The corner lot with a cliff in front of it.
Exactly.
yeah.
You don't even
So,
see it up there.
that's what I've done. If anybody else wants to see any of this, I have copies of it. I think I gave some to you guys on Friday as well.
Okay.
So
Is that what we're looking at here? All right.
I'll pass these on along.
Sure.
Yeah.
Share them with the rest of the commission, would be great.
There's a couple more, just in case. Anybody else wants to see. Any questions? I mean,
Yeah, does the commission have any questions for the applicant?
Now, clearly, if we have to go to steeper roof, this being a habitat home, if there was any maintenance on the roof, that would be more expensive to maintain a steeper roof, wouldn't it?
The contractor has to use a little bit more safety, you know, you can't just walk up
Right.
yeah,
the 612 is
But if they have to do more, they probably charge more for any roofer, right?
probably.
all in all, it's a little more expensive, and labor intensive, the steeper roof. It's just a little more difficult.
Well, then do we want to do like a conditional, if that can be done with the roof pitch, if not, proceed as is, and then with the fish scale and, what was the other?
The door.
The door.
The door, I'm fine with the door.
Yeah. And then just if there's any other changes happen mid-project, just to consult Dan as you go along. Does that work for everybody?
Yes, I think that's,
I would actually, I mean, we need affordable housing in Lafayette. This is way, way up on a hill. And with the maintenance being, I mean, maybe in the future, if we have a similar situation, I would do that. But I hate, if these things are built, I would hate to have them have to store them, hold them in a habitat situation and in a situation where it's way up. I mean, when you drive down Columbia or even the 13th Street, or 14th Street, it's pretty high up there. I don't think people are gonna.
Well, we can see if it's doable, and if it's not, then we just go with what they already have. Go from there.
I would say the concessions being made for the door, the shake, and everything else, and the roof pitch being built. I think the suggestion would be to move ahead like that. I'm sure Habitat could bend some things or do some things and maybe put these in storage for another build, but I think cost-effective wise and given the nature of the work they do, I don't think it would be necessarily for us to be prescriptive at this point.
You can slow the project down quite a bit, too.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 weeks.
I own property on that, block, and I do think in the future, when Habitat's thinking about building in these areas, they need to consider that.
Sure.
Right.
Then do we want to move forward sans the roof thing?
Michael, are you okay with handling that administratively with Dan? If any changes come about from this? Okay.
Yep.
Everyone else is comfortable with that? Do I have a motion to proceed?
So tell me, we're going with the regular roof, but the other changes with the door and the siding and everything?
Right, so those two amendments will be part of our motion, both the fish
Not the roof.
scaling and the door.
Okay.
The roof will be handled separately outside the process, if everyone's okay with that, letting Dan and Michael work with the applicant.
I'd like to
That's
see
an
it.
idea.
If they're built, I'd like to see it move move forward as is, so it doesn't become a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, what were you thinking? You were.
No,
sound like-
I was trying to understand what you were saying, but I get it, yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, yep, sorry.
Well, Shauna made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Alec. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right, motion carries.
And then, Ann, you're abstaining, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes, thank you for pointing that
We
out.
just want to say, I think also, I can't speak for the whole commission, but I think everyone's pretty excited to see a house coming into the neighborhood and an empty lot utilized. It's been the
Yeah.
thistle overgrown lot for a while.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I also appreciate Habitat's willingness to try to make some changes to the normal house plans to accommodate what's in the area. For meeting with him and the COA committee, it was very clear the applicant knew what was going on in the area and wanted to try to blend it in, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's all with limited resource and at a time when those are very expensive.
Looking across the street, they had that little house with the 4 balconies and stuff. It's not really historic.
Oh, the
in any-
apartment building?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Well, that's why, we try to have a district so that
Yeah.
right,
things from that, like that
yeah.
happen.
But So moving forward, yeah, I certainly want to do that, but with that being so high and,
I had to put up on my second roof, on my Victorian.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but I think the roofs last a little longer if they're
Yeah,
got more
steep,
pitch
sure.
to them, but we tend to just want to do the flat roofs these days. Interesting.
I'm not sure what's next on the agenda, but it might be your staff report. I don't know.
Yes.
Yep.
Is there anything to report?
As of right now, nothing to report. So I think we're good.
Okay, anything else from the commission and the public? Is it time to make a motion to adjourn? Yeah.
Adjourn.
All right, have a second?
I'll second.